What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Abbott Elementary Season 2. I don't get the episode, I didn't get the title of the episode or the number of the episode, but you guys will see it on the screen. I don't know the name of the episode and I don't know the number of the episode, but again, you guys will see it on the screen. And I think this is Season 2, Episode 12, but I could be wrong. But before we go ahead and get into this review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and aren't subscribed yet, do me a solid favor and stop checking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Abbott Elementary, shall we? All right, you guys, so before we go ahead and get into this, I do want to say congratulations to the cast of Abbott Elementary. So the Golden Globes were this week, and congratulations go out to the show. They won an award. Congratulations go out to Quentin Brunson, and congratulations to Tyler James Williams for their Golden Globe wins. And also Shirley Ralph was nominated, and so was Janelle James. So congratulations are in order to those, and to the show, to Quentin and Tyler. So let's talk about the episode, you guys. So this episode, we see Gregory. So Gregory, I don't know where they were, but Gregory was looking, and so he saw a flyer, and it's a flyer of his dad's landscaping business, right? So Janine is like, oh, so it's a family business. And, Gregory's like, it's not, that's not my brother, that's on here. That is an actor that his dad hired. And Janine was like, I'm confused. He says, no, you're not. So Ava, she was eavesdropping, right? And Ava says to Gregory, like, yeah, she asked him for the number of his fake brother because, she would like to climb that family tree. I was like, Ava, no, girl, we ain't finna do that. So then we see Janine. So Janine is in her class, and she's telling her class that she wants them to write a paragraph about a cat with a silly job, right? So, and after they write them, they're gonna read them to the class aloud, right? So she notices that two of her students are not in their assigned seats, and she asks why aren't they in their assigned seats, right? And so the little girls say they love peace, right? Come to find out, these two little girls really don't like each other. They can't stand each other, right? And it's getting gradually worse, right? And then we see one of them tell the other little girl, I'll beat you up. And I cracked up laughing when that little girl said, I will beat you up. And Janine says, she said, I'll beam you up. Like, beam us up, Scotty. Beam her to her spaceship or her friendship. I was like, Janine, do not do what I think you're going to do. And Janine was like, I'm definitely going to do it. I'm like, oh, please don't, Janine. Every time, I mean, Janine always has the best of intentions with things that she wants to do, but it always fails miserably, right? So let's pause here and let's move forward. So we see Gregory's dad. So he's outside and, he's doing some landscaping. And so Gregory is looking. So Ava comes in and she's messing with Gregory, right? And so actually Gregory was at his door and he was standing like this. And Ava was like, what's going on with you? Is this like some Stranger Things type of stuff? So his dad comes in and he introduces him, excuse me, you guys. He introduces himself to Ava, gives Ava his card. I was like, that was a terrible mistake, giving Ava your card. If she has any landscaping needs, I'm like, I'm pretty positive, Ava's gonna have some landscaping needs and they're gonna be some inappropriate landscaping needs, right? So Ava was in the teacher's lounge, right? And she saw Melissa. So she says, are you doing your taxes? She says, you can claim stray cats as dependents. I was like, Ava, how do you know anything about claiming stray cats as dependents? Only Ava, but Melissa's like, no, it's her fantasy football team. And she's trying to figure out why Mr. Johnson is beating her, right? So then we see Gregory. So Gregory is showing his dad around the school. So he introduces his dad to Barbara and to Jacob, right? And you guys know Barbara and Jacob have their garden, right? The garden that Gregory has been secretly tending to, right? And in this particular moment, Barbara and Jacob officially found out that the things that they thought that the other person was doing, it wasn't either one of them. It was Gregory. And Gregory's dad was like, wow. Gregory's dad was proud of him. I'm like, okay, pretty cool. So I want to pause here and I want to move forward. So we're in the cafeteria and Barbara is talking to Janine and telling Janine that, Gregory has been the one that has been secretly tending to the garden. And then Barbara notices Janine's two students that I told you guys weren't seeing eye to eye with each other. And she's like, that's going to be a problem right there. And, Janine was like, no, it's not going to be a problem. I put a buddy system together and they're going to be buddies with each other. And the one little girl that told the other girl she'll beat her up, she had a carton of milk. She took that milk and dropped it on the ground and splashed it on the little girl. And I was like, it's about to be a girl fight, a little girl fight at that. And, and so we see them, Barbara, Melissa, Jacob, and Janine. They were talking. And Barbara, them are all making a very valid point to Janine. And I just don't think that Janine, well, it comes up later, but Janine is not someone that can handle conflict. Janine feels like people should always get along. And Barbara, Melissa, and even Jacob are like, not everybody's gonna like each other. And that's just kind of something that you have to deal with, right? And I really did feel bad for Janine because Janine was talking about when her mom and her sister used to get into it, that, she would be in the middle and she was kind of like, Jack Bauer times two because she was kind of a casualty. And it was in that moment you realize Janine doesn't know how to deal with conflict when people just don't see it for each other, right? So then we move back over to Ava. So Ava went to Melissa to tell her that one of Mr. Johnson's players is not going to be playing in the game this week, right? So they have the chance to draft somebody else on their team. So they make a deal with each other that they are going to try to get that person so that way that they can, win the fantasy football and stick it to Mr. Johnson, right? So I was not talking to you. So where are we at? So Janine, she really is trying this buddy system with her kids, right? The two little girls that don't like each other. So she's having them draw an outline of each other, and in the inside of it, it'll list some of their best qualities, right? I'm like, girl, I don't necessarily think that that's gonna work. I think it's gonna be an epic fail. But let's pause here and move forward, you guys. So we see Gregory and his dad. So they're out doing some work. And, Gregory's dad is telling him how proud of him he is, right? And he tells Gregory to come and work for him. And Gregory's like, anytime that I ever do something, you go back behind me and do it again. And talking about, it's been improved, but you did the same thing that I already did, right? And his dad is like, I don't want you to come and work for me. I want you to come and work with me, right? Because he's getting older and he wants to be able to pass the family business down to Gregory. So we see Melissa and Ava, right? Melissa and Ava, they are hatching their plan to get this player on their fantasy football team to get back, so that they can win against Mr. Johnson, right? So we see Melissa's kids, I guess they were painting, right? So Melissa was dumping all the paint water into a little bin, and she told one of her kids, she's like, can you take this to the bathroom and pour it out? She's like, I can try, but I don't think I will. And she's like, it's okay, baby. So basically the plan is for that little girl to spill that paint water so that Mr. Johnson has to go clean it up. And that's exactly what happened. The little girl spilled all the paint water. So Melissa texts Ava. Ava got over intercom and told Mr. Johnson to go clean up the paint water, right? So we see them and they're trying to do the pick. Come to find out, Mr. Johnson had already got that pick. We'll talk about how Mr. Johnson got that pick in just a minute, you guys. So, did I get ahead of myself with Gregory and his dad? I do believe I did, but it is what it is, you guys. We've already talked about it. Oh, but I did forget to mention that Gregory's dad, when they were at Abbott, or at some point, Gregory's dad was telling, oh no, they were on the phone. And I think Gregory was in the teacher's lounge. Yes, he was in the teacher's lounge. And Barbara was in there, and Gregory's dad told him how proud of him he was, right? And Barbara was like, are you trying to hide a smile? He's like, am I? I was like, yeah, because you look very awkward, Gregory. So, where are we at, you guys? So, Barbara went over to Janine's classroom because Janine wanted to have a conference hour with Barbara. And I love the way that Barbara, kind of talked to Janine. Because, like I said earlier, Janine has an issue with conflict, and it stems from her mother and her sister having issues with one another, and the fact that whenever her sister does come to town, her sister doesn't want her mother to know, right? And I think Janine just has to be okay with the fact that, yeah, you might love your mom and sister, right? And you don't have to you don't have to get involved in the conflict, but people just don't necessarily like each other, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Um, I just thought about something that I forgot. I'm gonna pause here, you guys, and we're gonna move forward and wrap up the episode. So, you guys, I forgot a few scenes. So, at one point in the episode, so you guys remember I told you that Janine told her students to do the outline of each other and basically draw in the inside the positive things about them. That went to hell. One of the little girls said that the other girl was full of poo, and she just literally she drew the little brown shit. I was like, oh no! So the other little girl, she just literally drew some Gucci slides on the look. She dressed the little girl up, but she had like the little girl stinks. Her breath stinks. Her armpits stink. Everything about her just stinks because she stinks. And they were about to get into a fight with each other. And Janine basically was like, y'all gotta, figure something out with each other, right? So in the cafeteria, once again, this little girl comes up to Janine and like, are you the one that I'm supposed to be beating up? And another little girl comes in and is like, you the one that I'm supposed to be beating up. So basically, the little sisters got their big sisters involved to want to fight each other to settle the beef. I was like, they're smart little girls because damn, they went and got their big sisters to fight each other. That was hilarious to me when they went and got their big sisters to fight each other, and Janine was caught in the middle of the melee, right? So we see Gregory. So Gregory, he was teaching his students about, like being, I don't know what kind of plane he was talking about, but one of his students actually ate the seed and the napkin. And I was like, oh. He's like, let's go to the nurse. But come to find, so Jacob actually came in and, Gregory told him about what his dad offered him. And he was like, so you're going to leave us? He's like, no, I like it here at Abbott. He's like, you're not leaving because you love us here? He said, I didn't say that. So the little girls, they become friends with each other, and their sisters become friends with each other because they realize they have a lot in common. They like butterflies and like beating people up. And then Janine, so she called her sister and she said, are you going to come and visit me? She says, if you do come, I'm not going to tell mom. And that was really the end of the episode. Also, Mr. Johnson. So the way that Mr. Johnson was able to get that pick is because him and Jacob partnered up with each other. And I was like, interesting, right? So that was the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications and share the video. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe out there. Please take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.